Hello friends, this is BK Kolhapure. Today we'll begin with the topic on support reactions. So this is also part of equilibrium conditions only. We are going to use equilibrium conditions sigma 0, sigma V0 and sigma M0. For example, we have got a beam here. This beam is supported on say either wall or column. These beams are subjected to loads W1, W2, W3. Whatever loads are coming, that is transferred to the supports. These supports will be giving the reaction in the opposite direction. Suppose A is the beam here, B is the beam here. So the reaction at A we call it as RA, reaction at B we call it as RB. So that the upward forces must be equal to the downward forces. So here support reaction is nothing but the reaction given by the supports. So our aim in this chapter is to find out what is the support reaction when loadings are acting on the beam. Now before going to that, you are supposed to know what are the different kinds of beams, what are the different types of supports and what are the different types of loads acting. So we'll begin one by one. So first we'll go with types of beams. Types of beams. First is the very common beam what you see is simply supported beam. Simply supported beam. Suppose this is a beam. It is carrying loads. It is just supported at the ends A and B, so that the reaction are RA and RB. So the reaction will be acting here vertical. So this type of beam is known as a simply supported beam. So second type of beam is cantilever beam. Cantilever beam. In this beam, we see that one end of the beam is fixed and the other end of the beam is free. For example, if I hold the beam like this, it is a simply supported beam. If I fix it at one end, so one end is free, the other end is fixed, the other end is free. So such a type of beam we call it as a cantilever beam. So the third type of beam what we come across is overhanging beam. This is also a type of simply supported beam, but you find if this is a beam, the supports will be somewhere here in between. So they will be overhanging on this side and overhanging on the other side. Either the overhanging can be this side or both the sides. So such a type of beam we call it as a overhanging beam. Next type of beam is continuous fixed beam. Fixed beam. So in this case, if this is the beam, it is fixed at both ends. So such a type of beam we call it as a fixed beam. The other category of beam what we come across is continuous beam. Continuous beam. If this is a beam, it has got more than two supports. Whenever more than two supports are there, we call such a beam as a continuous beam, where more than two supports are there. So these are the different types of beams what we come across in practice. Next we will see what are the different types of loads. Different types of loads. You see the different types of loads are, one is concentrated. concentrated, or we call it as point load. Suppose this is a beam, it is carrying loads. You see all these loads are acting at a point, so we call such loads as a concentrated load or point load. Second type of load is uniformly distributed load. Uniformly distributed load, we abbreviate this as UDL. Now suppose if you see to this load, if this is a beam, so if the load is acting, it is known as a point load. Suppose if it is weighing 10 Newton. So here, if I keep the body in the horizontal direction, same 10 Newton, it is acting for a certain length. So we call this as a uniformly distributed load. If I cut this into 10 pieces, so if the total weight is 10, so each piece will be of 1 Newton. So like this total weight will be, what is the unit weight multiplied by how much is the length of the load which is acting. Suppose if I show that here, if this is a beam, it is supported at the ends, it is carrying UDL. We have to show UDL like this. Suppose L is the length of the beam and L1 is the distance for which this load is acting, and this load is abbreviated as W per unit length. Means what will be the weight for 1 mm, 1 centimeter, 1 meter, whatever it is. So per unit length. This is a load acting, and if you want to know the total load, this is almost a rectangle. What is the area of rectangle? B into D. So this will be equal to W into L1. Total load will be equal to intensity of loading and the length for which it is acting. Where this is going to act? This is going to act at the centroid. So this is total load WL1. So this distance will be L1 by 2, and this distance will also be equal to L1 by 2. It will be acting at the center, because centroid of the rectangle is at the center only. This is the second type of problem load what we see. Then the third type of load what we come across. Third type of load we call it as uniformly varying load. Uniformly varying load. If this is the beam, if it is supported and if it is carrying the load, with one end it is maximum, the other end it will be varying like this. So here, if this is the intensity of load, W per unit length, it is acting for a length of L1. The load goes on varying from one point to the other point. So we call it as uniformly varying load. Uniformly distributed load, uniformly varying load. Now here, the total load, if you want to know, it is nothing but the area of the diagram. The diagram is triangle here. So the total load what will be acting will be the area of triangle, half into base into height. W1, W, and this is L1. Half into W into L1, and the weight of the body always acts at the centroid. And if you want to know the distance of the centroid from the base, this will be L1 by 3. If this is L1 by 3, then this distance will be 2/3 of L1. So that the total length will be L1. 1/3 from base, 2/3 from the apex. This is a total load. Total load is nothing but the area of the diagram. So here we have a rectangle B into D. Here we have triangle half into base into height, acting at the center. These are the three types of loading what will be coming across in this topic. Now the next important thing what will be coming across is the types of supports. Types of supports and reactions. How the reactions will be acting on it. Types of supports and reaction. The first type of support is simple support. Simple support. Suppose if I take a beam, it is just supported simply at the ends. This is A, B, R A, R B. These are the reactions. In case of simply supported beam, the reaction always acts vertical. reaction acts vertical if it is a simply supported beam. The second type of support what we come across is hinged support. Hinged support. So you have seen hinges. They are used for opening and closing of the doors and windows. They are the hinges which it can freely rotate, but it cannot move in x direction nor it can move in y direction. Neither it can move horizontally nor it can move vertically, but it can be freely rotating. So here if I show the hinge, this is the beam, I will show portion of that. So this will be carrying the loads. In such a type of support, we call this as a hinge. In this, if the loads are vertical, the reaction is vertical, RA. If the load is acting vertical on the beam. If the load is acting horizontal on the beam, then it will give a horizontal reaction, HA. If the force is inclined, it has got horizontal component and vertical component. In such cases, there will be both vertical reaction and horizontal reaction. So in case of hinges, how will be the reactions? Reactions either vertical or horizontal or both. Either vertical or horizontal or both. So these are the support reactions which will be acting in a case of a hinged beam. So we will see the next type of support. Roller support. Roller support. Suppose this is a beam, also portion. This is a roller. This is a roller support. Now the difference between the hinge and roller is it cannot move horizontally or vertically. But here it is free to move in the horizontal direction, but it is not free to move in the vertical direction because it is giving reaction in the vertical direction. Always remember, in case of roller support, there is only one reaction acting. Only one reaction, and that reaction will be acting perpendicular to the roller. For example, if I show a roller like this, inclined at, this is a beam. Whatever may be the type of loading, in case of roller, it is free to move like this, but not free to move in the perpendicular direction. So the reaction will be acting perpendicular to the roller. So remember always, in roller, there is only one reaction. In case of roller, there is only one reaction, and that will be acting perpendicular to the roller. This is a specialty of a roller support. The other type of support, what we come across, the last type of support is fixed support. Fixed support. So if I take a beam, if it is subjected to loading, this is fixed here. So again, depending upon the loading, if the load is only vertical, there will be only vertical reaction, RA. If this is A. If there are only horizontal reaction, there will be only horizontal loads, there will be only horizontal reaction. If there is inclined load, there will be both vertical reaction and horizontal reaction. But in case of fixed end, it is not free to move. So there will be additional moment acting, what you call it as a fixed end moment acting at the support. Now here in case of fixed end, the reactions are vertical or horizontal or both. This is common for hinged also. In addition, here, in addition to a moment, in addition to a moment M. So this is the extra thing what you will be finding in the fixed end. So these are the types of beams that we come across. Now here we are required to find out the support reactions for the beam carrying different types of load as problems. So we'll see some simple examples to find out the support reactions. Suppose if I take a beam, suppose this is a beam, it is simply supported at the ends A and B. Suppose if it is carrying loads of 3 kilonewton and this load is 6 kilonewton, and the distance what it is making from this end to this load, this lead, if it is 2 meters, this is also 2 meters, this is also 2 meters. Then we'll have to find out the reaction at A as Ra, you'll have to find out reaction at B as Rb. If we are using the conditions of equilibrium, sigma h is 0. There is no horizontal force acting, it is 0. Sigma V must be equal to 0. That means upward forces must be equal to the downward forces. This Ra and Rb are acting upwards, so this Ra plus Rb must be equal to the downward forces. Downward force is 3 plus 6, so this is equal to 9 kilonewton. We have a second equilibrium condition. Third equilibrium condition is, if you take moment about any point, it must be equal to 0. Suppose if I take moment about A, so if I take moment about A and equate it to 0. Now if I take moment about A, this Rb is acting here, its perpendicular distance will be 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6, and this will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So anti-clockwise is minus Rb into distance is 2, 4, 6. Now coming to this 3 kilonewton load, it is acting vertically down, perpendicular distance is 2 meters, and this will rotate in clockwise direction. So plus 3 into 2. Now 6 kilonewton, perpendicular distance is 2 plus 2, 4 meter. This will also rotate in the clockwise direction. So clockwise is positive, plus 6 into 2 plus 2 is 4. This is equal to 0. So only unknown here is Rb. If you simplify for Rb, you get Rb is equal to 6 kilonewton and Ra will be equal to 3 kilonewton. So this is how you will have to find out the values. 6 4 are 24, 30 divided by 6 will be 5 6 are 30. So 5 and this will be 4 kilonewton. 5 and 4 kilometers. So you simplify it, you get the value of Rb. This Rb, if you substitute in this equation, you will get the value of Ra. So this is a very simple example. We will see the other types of problems. Let us take a beam. One end is hinged, the other end is roller support. This is also example of simply supported beam only. Let this beam carry loads so it is carrying load here W, it is carrying another load here, it is carrying one more load here. Let this load be 10, 15, 20, 10 kilonewton, 15 kilonewton and 20 kilonewton. These are making certain angles with the beam. Let these angles be 30 degrees and 45 degrees. Now here this is A, this is B, and the distances given to you are 2 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 1 meter. Suppose these are the distances given. In this beam, the forces are inclined. So first we will resolve the forces and simplify the figure. Suppose if I draw the same beam AB, there are vertical loads, so there will be reaction at A as RA, there will be vertical reaction at B as RB. This vertical force, this will remain as it is, 10 kilonewton. This force is inclined, so it has to be resolved horizontally and it has to be resolved vertically. If I resolve the two forces, one force will be horizontal towards left, another will be vertical down. This vertical will be away from the angle, and we know away is sine of 30. This force, if I resolve horizontally along the angle towards left, so this will be 15 cos of 30. Similarly, this force, if I resolve vertically and horizontally, you come across two forces. One is vertically down, another is left. So this will be 20 away from the angle is sine 45, and this is along the angle, this will be 20 cos 45. This is a simplified figure what I have done. So let us find out. We are taking moment about it. This distance will be 2 meters. This distance will be 4 meters. And this distance will be 247 meters. And the distance from one support to another support, the total distance 2,4,7,8 meters. So if you can draw this figure, the calculations will be very simple. So we will apply the equilibrium condition. Now we have got RA and RB. The vertical loads are there, vertical reaction will be there. But if you see here, there are horizontal forces acting. Both are towards the left. To balance this left force, the reaction should be in the right direction, so that they will balance each other, so that sigma H will be equal to 0. This will call it as the horizontal reaction at A. And you know, in hinge there may be vertical or horizontal reaction depending upon the loading. But at the roller there will be only one reaction acting perpendicular to the roller. It cannot take the horizontal reaction. Now applying conditions of equilibrium, sigma H is equal to 0. This HA is towards right plus HA. This is towards left, minus 15 cos of 30. This is also towards left, minus 20 cos of 45 is equal to 0. You get the value of HA is equal to 27.13 kilonewton. Now we will go for second equilibrium condition, sigma B equal to 0. So if I use that condition here, sigma B equal to 0, I will come up here. So there are upward forces and downward forces. Upward force must be equal to downward force. Upward are RA and RB. So RA plus RB must be equal to the downward loads acting. Downward load acting is 10 plus 15 sin 30 plus 20 sin 45. So if you simplify this equation, you get RA plus RB is equal to 31.64 kilonewton. So let us call this equation as 1, because RA plus RB we know. Now let us go for the third equilibrium condition. It states that the moment about any point in the beam must be equal to 0. Let us take moment about A. So sigma MA must be equal to 0. If I will begin with this RB. Perpendicular distance is 8 meters and it will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So minus RB into 8. Then you will come to 10, perpendicular distance is 2, this will rotate in clockwise direction. So plus 10 into 2. Then 15 sine 30, perpendicular distance is 4 meters, this is also rotating in the clockwise direction. So plus 15 sine of 30 into 4 meters. Then I will come to last force, 20 sine 45 into, what is the perpendicular distance for this? 7, and this will rotate in clockwise direction, into 7. This must be equal to 0. So if you simplify for RB, you get RB is equal to 18.62 kilonewton. 18.62 kilonewton. If you substitute these two in equation 1, you get RA will be equal to 13.02 kilonewton. So these are the reactions that we are found out in the beam carrying concentrated load. Now let us go one more step ahead. We will see to the other category of problems. We are seen in both the cases the loads are acting vertical. We will take another beam. Here it is hinged and this is on roller. Suppose the beam is carrying loads here like this. Suppose it is carrying a load here. It is carrying a load here. It is carrying a load here. So I have shown all the combinations here: concentrated load, uniformly distributed load, and uniformly varying load. Let the magnitude be 10 kilonewton. This will be 1.5 kilonewton. It is per unit length, per meter. And this uniformly varying load, the maximum ordinate here is 20 kilonewton per meter, and it is going to 0 at the end. Now let us come for the distances. Suppose this is A, this is B. The distances here are 2 meter, 1 meter, 3 meter, 2 meter. This is 1 meter, and the remaining is 3 meters. Means this UDL is acting for 2 meters and this UVL is acting for 3 meters. So whenever you get such a problem, the first step is we'll simplify the problem in the simple way. So what I'll do is I'll just extend these lines. Now let me draw a simple figure here. This is hinged here and this is roller support here. Now if you see to this, there is a 10 kilonewton load acting vertically down. This is 10 and its perpendicular distance is 2 meters. Now here you see there is a UDL acting. We will convert this UDL in terms of the total load. We know what will be the total load, the intensity of load and the distance for which it is acting. So total load will be 1.5 into 2. So total load will be 1.5 into 2. Where this total load will act? it will act at the center. So if it is at the center means this total is 2 meter. So this will be 1 meter and this will be 1 meter. But I want the distance from A because we are taking moment from A. So what will be this distance? 1 meter plus 1 meter plus 2 meters. So this distance will be equal to 4 meters. Now we'll come to this UL. I'll just draw a dotted line. Total load is nothing but the area of the diagram. So if I show an arrow, I'll convert this triangular load into a total load. So this will be half into intensity of loading is 20 and the length for which it is acting is 3 meters. This is a total load acting. Now this load will act at the center. This distance from here to here, it is 1/3 of 3 meters. It is from base. From base means it will be 1/3 of third. So this will be 1 meter. This is from here to here, it is 1 meter. But I want the distance from here to here because we are taking moment about B, A. So what will be this distance? 2 plus 1 3 plus 2 5 plus 1 6 plus 1 7 meters. Total distance will be 7. 1 2 4 5 6 7 and the total distance from the support to support, this distance will be 2 3 5 6 9 meters. So once you simplify this figure, it will be very easy for you to do the calculations. So UDL is converted into total load, intensity of loading, and for the distance for which it is acting, it will act at the center, 1 meter and 1 meter. Here there is a triangular loading. So total load will be area of the triangle half into base into height. It will act at a distance of 1/3 from the base, and base is nothing but 3 meters here. So 1/3 of base will be 3/3 will be 1 meter. You will have to locate the distance from the support. If I use the equilibrium condition, sigma h is equal to 0. There is no horizontal force acting here. So sigma h is 0. Let us go for the second equilibrium condition. Sigma v equal to 0. Upward forces must be equal to downward forces. So here upward forces are RA and RB. These are the two reactions acting at the supports. So RA plus RB, this must be equal to downward load. So one downward load is 10. Second downward load is, it is 1.5 into 2 total load, plus the third load is half into base into height, the total load. So this will be equal to half into base into height. So you get RA plus RB will be equal to 4